Hello folks and welcome to sherwoodphoenix.co.uk. Today we've got a Bechstein London, one of the smallest Bechstein grands that Bechstein ever were involved in making. This one being the Bechstein London was made in the UK for the UK market, and they were made in the 30s as well. This one in particular is in a really nice walnut case, and I say really nice. It's sad that most of these pianos over time just naturally fade, especially if they've been left in any amount of sunlight, whether it's direct sunlight or if there's even sunlight in the room, you will always get an amount of fading. So you can see around, you can see here it's almost white, and then we've got a kind of light orange, and then we've got almost like a mid-orange up here, and then on the top you start to get into like a darker orangey colour. Actually the top of this someone has revived at some point. I can see still where the pull marks are on the French polish, which isn't terrible. It's just we would prefer it was much nicer than that, and we know that we can do a much nicer job than that. So this piano deserves a full repolish. So that's the first thing that we will do. I'll just take it apart quickly for you. It has got a Renner action in it as well, folks. A Renner roller action, which is one of the preferred actions of this era, to be fair. A lot of the old simplex actions weren't particularly good, and pianos of this style, a lot of them had it in it, particularly in the 30s onwards. So just taking the front off. This is one of those things that we don't necessarily advise to do at home, and if you decide to give it a go, you might run into some problems in the inside. I remember doing this when I was 10 years old, therefore I don't like advising people not to do it, because I'd be an absolute hypocrite if I said that it's a bad idea. To be fair, it was a bad idea because I did actually damage the first one, as just about everybody does when they try and do this, not knowing some of the golden rules. So that, as you can see again there, that's almost the same colour as the keys, and it should be a golden kind of brown colour. Just put that down to the side just now. One of the first things I'm noticing here is the key fronts. The key fronts on this are actually plastic, therefore I'm just going to pull that one off because it's just about to fall off. You can see it actually bending. If I sit that flat there, you'll see it's got a kind of concave shape to it, and it's peeling away from the front of the key. So they're going to need to all come off and in this case be replaced. This piano does have ivory keys on it as well. You can see the line of the two pieces on top on this, where you can see obviously where the front and the back are separated. These were cut like that for what quite quickly becomes an obvious reason, was to avoid the wastage, to try and minimise the wastage, because even then, as much as it's an atrocity that it happened and that was the material people used, it was still a difficult material and an expensive material, so they made sure the wastage was as little as possible, which unfortunately isn't enough. So yeah, this particular set of keys, we've got a certificate for it. If anyone is interested, you're now needing a certificate. If you've got a piano from 1975 or older, you need a certificate in order to retain and resell the piano. Worth knowing, because you can get a fine for it. So yeah, we'll be looking to take these off, and we have got the certificate for these keys, so we will keep the keys unless the buyer decides that they want them replaced, which does happen from time to time. So yeah, moving on from that, we actually have decided that we're going to keep the piano as original as possible. The soundboard is in good condition, the bridges are in good condition, so we'll not bother too much about that today. And then this is the bit where you can go wrong. So when you pull this out, Sometimes there's maybe a stuck hammer that you've maybe not seen, and in which case you break the hammer as you pull it out. And in this case we're all right. Chris, could you just give us a hand over here? The action can be quite heavy, folks, so just be careful if you're taking it out. Be prepared for it to be heavy. Can manage it myself, but it's generally just a bit nicer to have a little bit of help. So yeah, the hammers, as you can see on the top, there's been a lot of usage, and possibly this one's maybe been stored on its side at some point. There is quite a bit, the top of the hammers are a bit flat there. So as a minimum, we will look to reshape these hammers, possibly replace them. You normally find in the extremities is where you struggle the most to keep a hammer, when there's maybe not enough life on them. So what we're going to do on this particular is we'll start off by reshaping them and see how we feel the sound and the tone is after that. If we feel that it needs a new set of hammers at that point, we will put a new set of hammers on it. After that, it's going to be an action restoration. We'll not be replacing full parts on this particular. We'll just be looking at changing felts where necessary, recentering the action, servicing it and regulating it. And certainly on the front of the action, as you can hear the rattle there, we will be changing all the bushings on the action as well. Thankfully, moving forward from there, just roll this back out of the way. The damper assembly, we'll check that for, a lot of these older pianos have been moth affected. This one actually seems to be not too bad. Let's just get my own camera out here, get the torch on. Sorry if you can hear Simon tuning in the background. He's here normally 3 or 4 days a week tuning, and we find it hard to escape that noise, unfortunately, here. So you can see, we've got a ladybug in there, and that one's, unfortunately, I think that's fell asleep for the rest of the future, unfortunately. That one won't be playing the piano any longer. We've got, what else have we got? Actually, there doesn't seem to be any horrendous moth damage in this one, which is nice. We've escaped that. We will be cleaning up this damper assembly and giving it a little bit of servicing, and seeing if we can just keep it, to be fair, keep the majority of it. If we do feel the felts need replaced and the centres redone, then we'll do that as well. But yeah, what we'll do is, that's me pretty much assessed this piano. I'm actually quite happy with it. It's going to be a nice piano at the end, and as soon as it's restored, we'll look forward to showing you the piano again, probably on our demonstration page. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.